Chase Williams alongside Matt Geica of Pittsburgh Hockey Now. The Penguins in a 3-game skid right now. They're not looking like the Penguins of old, at least the last few weeks. They've given up 17 goals in this stretch. Obviously not good. What do they need to do to end this skid as they host the Islanders?
Well, not to borrow too much from Mike Sullivan, but a little too much high risk into their game right now. In fact, a lot too much high risk in their game. When they're playing responsibly, and I believe this isn't just coach speak from Sullivan, this really plays out. When the Penguins are getting on the defensive side of the puck in their own zone, when they're concerned about a clean breakout, when they're taking care of the details in front of their own netminder, that's when they can create from there. They're such a quick transition team with the speedy wingers they have, the big-time centermen. They can make a lot out of things without having to cheat up ice. So we've seen some cheating here. We've seen some cherry picking, if you will. That's the one thing that the Penguins could afford to cut out and try to play a 2-1 game against the Isles. The Islanders typically play 3 or 4 goal games on both sides of the ledger. So it'll be tough to hold them down, but they should be able to generate their fair share against New York. Yeah,
needing to take some of the responsibility for the struggles. Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith of late. Are you worried about Matt Murray? He suffered a concussion in practice on Monday. He skated Friday, didn't take any shots or anything, but he was in full gear, obviously trending in the right direction. But is Matt Murray, I don't want to say he's injury prone, but it seems to be like, I don't want to say soft either, but is he?
Well, I don't know about soft or brittle or anything like that, the pejoratives you might use. But yeah, injury prone is fair. I looked it up for Pittsburgh Hockey Now a couple of days ago, and he suffered 7 separate injuries since he got called up about 2 calendar years ago. That's the most in the NHL over that span. Only one other guy has 6. So he hasn't had the long-term injuries, just the one earlier this year that put him on injured reserve. However, you can't really plan around all these nicks and bang-up moments that Murray gets. The concussion, that's a bad break for him. Ole Mata hits him in the mask with a shot. That's going to happen. But some of the other stuff, maybe he can take care of it with different conditioning, different workouts in the off-season. I'm not sure, but it does make you wonder how much will they be relying upon Tristan Jarry at points during the rest of this Matt Murray contract, which extends out 2 more years.
Now, this was a busy week for the Penguins. Which is the bigger deal in your opinion, locking up Patrick Hornquist for 5 years or the acquisition of Derek Brassard at the trade deadline?
It's still Brassard for me because of how much of a dynamic player he is. Yeah, he's the third-line center on the Penguins, but he'd be the first-line center on a lot of teams, maybe half the teams in the NHL, and the second-liner on all but the Penguins, I suppose. So he's a difference maker for me. I know he hasn't looked entirely comfortable. He's coming from that passive Ottawa approach where they sit back. He said it's really different in the offensive zone. A lot of teams are playing the Penguin style. The Senators weren't. So you need to give him some more time, I think, if you're the coaching staff, and also figure out, does he fit with Kessel? Does he fit with Gensel? Does he fit with Scherer? You got to have someone who can feed off him in a playmaking way. But he has all the tools. It should work out. No offense to Patrick Hornquist. But as for this season, this Brassard move has put them back right at the top in terms of favorites for me for the Stanley Cup.
Evgeny Malkin was named the 2nd star of the month by the NHL. Just an unbelievable tear by him. Is this the best stretch from Malkin that you've seen in his career, you think?
I think it at least ties it. About 10 years ago, he went off when Crosby went down with a high ankle sprain. You might remember that. He had 47 goals, just really showed what he could do in his second season in the league. And then 2011-12, he scored 50, was the MVP Art Ross Trophy winner. He and James Neal had something going on that season. What I like the most about Malkin's game, and what I would like the most if I were the Penguins, is he's shooting more. He's scoring goals. His goal-scoring rate is right up there with those 2 seasons that I just mentioned. With Hagelin and Hornquist, those guys aren't necessarily shooters or snipers, so Malkin puts it on himself, and I think that arrangement's working quite well on the second line.
Same flow. He's Matt Geica. New gig, though. You can check him out on Pittsburgh Hockey Now for all of his fantastic talents. He's Matt. I'm Chase. Thank you for watching